Leviticus says, as for those of you who survive, I will send a faintness into your hearts, into the land of their enemies, so that even the sound of a wind-blown leaf will put them to flight. Wow. How do you know people today are running and they don't know what they're running from? People will get up and abandon. They'll get out of their marriage and don't even know why they did. People will get up and leave church and don't even know. They get to their car and they don't even know why they're left. I've had people tell me that. They got up and left the church. Went and got in their car. When they turned it on, they didn't even know where they were going. I've had people get up and leave and left their kids. That's real. Now let's close. I want you to go to Numbers 23. Numbers 23. Can you do that? Go to Numbers 23, and that's where I'm going to close. Isaiah 65:14, while you're going there, says, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. How do you know there's a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end there is destruction? Yeah. We need to decide the song is going to be a song of joy or a song of despair. The world is so broken. How many here? I mean, I'm just so sick of the politics and so sick of all that garbage that keeps going on. It's just disgusting. It's almost like a lying contest. Who can win? There used to be a TV show when I was growing up called Truth or Consequences. Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. Today, it just be consequences. There's no truth. Numbers chapter 23. Now, if you allow me, I'm going to help you. If you wanted to look at this, chapter 23, chapter 23, 22, 23, 24, all the way to the end of 24, is the story of a guy named Balaam. And Balaam had a unique animal. Hello. Balaam had a donkey. And the donkey told him one day how faithful he had been to him. Yeah, he told him, he said, I have carried you since the beginning that you started to ride. You know, that'd be humiliating if your donkey stops and starts telling you, what are you complaining about? I've been carrying you, fool. Verse 22, verse 20, if you read all this, but I want you to go to 23 and 19. That's where I got to first take you, and then I'm going to back up a bit. 23 and 19. And so, God is not a man that he should tell or act a lie, neither the Son of Man that he should feel repentance or compunction for what he has promised. Has he said he shall, and he shall not do it? Or has he spoken, and shall he not make it good? How do you know God is not a man that he can lie? Now here's a story of this whole guy, Balaam. And there's a guy named Balak. Balaam, and Balaam's ass, Balaam's mule, Balaam's donkey. How do you know that there's a story goes on here? And if you read in chapter 22, what happens is he sent messengers to Balaam, a foreteller of events. Now, Balaam had the ability to hear God and foretell prophetically. He could tell events. And so this guy, and Balak, the king of Moab, and he was the son of Zippor. Y'all know who Zippor was. Saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites, okay? Now, Moab was terrified at the people. So what had happened is the Israelis came out of Egypt, and some reason they encamped about Moab. And Moab was a mountainous region, and all in the valley, as you could see, was the children of Israel. Remember, Pharaoh got rid of them because they were multiplying like rabbits. Hello. And so now, here's the king Balak's out there. He's got his binoculars, and he's going, golly, they're still coming. They're everywhere. And if they keep multiplying, they're going to take over. And so the fear of them having influence, because Balak says, God's with them. He sent messengers, verse 5, to Balaam, a foreteller of events, son of Beor, at Pethor, which is at the Euphrates, by the Euphrates River, even to the land of the children of his people, to say to him, there is a people come out from Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they have settled down and dwell opposite of me. Now, how do you know that's where it is? This guy don't like the fact that they're growing. Have you ever realized the world don't like you to multiply? That's why the world is so happy when the average Christian never testifies. That's why Christianity is an endangered species, because we came out of Egypt, and instead of multiplying, we've reduced. Watch this. Verse 7, the elders of Moab and of Midian departed the rewards of foretelling of their hands. So they went and they got this guy Balaam, and they said, we're going to bring you wealth. We're going to make you so wealthy. We're going to bless you. All you got to do is go out there and speak and prophesy and say, just curse the people. Verse 12, so God said to Balaam, you shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they're blessed. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, go back to your own land, for the Lord refuses to permit me to go with you. Oh, here we go. Uncontrolled change. The Lord refuses me to hang out with you. The Lord refuses me to get connected to you. Your children need to learn that, so they can say that to their classmates. The Lord won't let me go with you. That'll make them think. Watch this. Verse 17. For I will promote you, he said, with great honor. I'll do whatever you tell me. So come, I beg you, curse this people for me. And Balaam answered, verse 18, and the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord, my God, to do less or more. Hello? We need to come to that place. We need to decide, I'm not going to join that. I can't speak outside of what God gives me. Verse 20, and God came to Balaam at night and said, if the men come and call you, rise up and go. Now here's the best part. This is where I'm going to take you, and then I'm going to pray with you. Come on, just stay with me a minute. He says, if the men come to call you, rise up and go with them. But still only what I tell you may you do. Now, it's really interesting, because here the Lord told him to go with them. But in a minute, he sent angels to kill Balaam for going with them. Oh, watch it. Verse 21, and Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his donkey. This is the one that talks. And he went with the princes of Moab. If some of y'all's dogs could talk, man, I'd have counseling sessions with them. I'd know everything. In verse 22, and God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way as an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his donkey, and the two servants were with him. And the donkey saw the angels. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? The donkey could see what the man couldn't. A prophet couldn't see, but the donkey could. And the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his sword drawn in his hand, and the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. In other words, they were riding along, and all of a sudden the donkey said, whoa, and took off into the field. Well, Balaam, look what he did. Balaam struck the donkey to turn her into the way. But the angel, verse 24, the angel of the Lord stood in the path of vineyards and wall of this side and the wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against it. And he struck her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in the narrow place where there was no room to turn, neither to the right. Thank God, God is hedging him in. I want to tell you, if you live long enough, God will keep you hedged in. He'll get you in between two places, and he'll even use the donkey to help you get there. Yea, saith the Lord, I may be the donkey today, because if I'm the donkey today, I'm assigned to help you get where you're supposed to get. And I see the angel of the Lord trying to speak to you and try to keep you from taking a path that's not his choice. And the angel of the Lord's let me see it, and I'm going to guide you through a wall till I get your foot crushed where you can't walk right. And then you'll understand that God spared you because he used he used the donkey. Don't you call me that. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, he thrust himself against the wall. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in the narrow place where there was no room. And then the donkey saw, verse 27, the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey. You can smite me as long as you want, but there's going to be a day that I'm going to open my mouth, and yea, saith the Lord, is going to come out, and you're going to have to stop and say, my God, the donkey's talking. And the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you would strike me these 3 times? Balaam said to the donkey, now look, he ain't even concerned. The donkey talks to him. Now the donkey had to speak Hebrew. Can you imagine how hard that was? He's having to talk like a Hebrew donkey. He didn't speak English. He wasn't a Mexican donkey. Hola, ¿qué pasa? You know, he had to speak Hebrew. That's amazing. And Balaam, notice Balaam, he just says, he answers him. Come on, be real with me. You have a dog, don't you? Yes. If you go home today and the dog says, Mark, where you been? Do me a favor, run. Get out of that house and run. Or at least do something. I mean, don't just go, okay, dog, how you doing? I mean, don't talk to the dog. And Balaam said to the donkey, because you have ridiculed and provoked me, I wish there was a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you. You're going to kill a donkey that's talking. And the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey, upon which you have ridden all your life until this day? How many times have I counseled with you? How many times have I encouraged you? How many times have I prayed with you? Was I ever accustomed to do so to you? And he said, no. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in his way with his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed his head, and he fell on his face. And the donkey said, no, he didn't do that. And the angel of the Lord said to him, why have you struck this donkey these 3 times? See, I came out to stand against and resist you, but your behavior is willingly, look at this, here's the whole essence. Your behavior is uncontrolled. Is willingly obstinate and contrary before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me these 3 times. If she had not turned from me, surely I would have slain you and saved her alive. God said, I'd have killed you and kept the donkey alive. If you read the rest of this, you will see a story that's just amazing. Come on, saints. Principles, things that should never change. How do you know there are principles that should never change? The thing is a law of God. And how do you know the laws of God have to stay intact? The most predictable reality on earth is change. Can you hear me today? And I'll say this without belaboring this point. I'll close with this statement because this is worth it. There are things that cannot change. You're here today, and I'm telling you there are things that cannot change. God knew this donkey. He knew he would come to this point. This man, Balaam compromised. He was a prophet that compromised. Others sought him out as a prophet. And it took a Balaam. It took his donkey that don't even have a name. It took a nameless person, donkey, to stop him.
Thank you for watching Rock City Church Online. We pray this video sharpens and encourages you to be all that God has called you to be. You can give online at rockcitychurch.com or on the Rock City Church app. Like and share us on social media at RockCCBaltimore and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next episode or live stream.